In this 5-minute video, brought to you by PayMe and TaxMe, we'll highlight the changes to Federal Tax Form 941, which the IRS updated to collect information about the new COVID-19 tax incentives, expanding the form from 2 to 3 pages and adding new Worksheet 1. If you want a more in-depth discussion, check out our COVID-19 Form 941 in detail video. Let's jump into the form. In general, Form 941 itself has 20 new data fields, and there are an additional 38 data fields in new Worksheet 1. Here's a side-by-side comparison between our software and the actual form. New data fields are highlighted in blue. Of all the changes, we want to emphasize the following 5 key takeaways, and to better help explain them, I'm using our web-based e-file solution. To access it, go to the PayMe website, www.paymellc.com. From here, click on the blue e-file button and follow the 941 chain. The solution is simple to use. You can expand and collapse parts as necessary by just clicking on them. White fields require user input, while gray fields are automatically calculated by the software, including all of new Worksheet 1. Back to the 5 takeaways. First, taxpayers must use this version of the form for the second, third, and fourth quarters of 2020. Second, if you didn't utilize any COVID-19 benefits, complete Form 941 as you'd always done before and just ignore or leave blank the new fields. Third, the design of the updated COVID-19 Form 941 is odd and the approach is confusing as it's a bit circular. Entries from the end of the form Part 3 feed into new Worksheet 1, which then moves its entries back to the beginning of the form Part 1. Fourth, Form 941 includes new data fields to collect COVID-19 related information. New lines 5A1 and 5A2 were added to understand whether you paid any qualified sick leave or qualified family leave wages. Note the different 6.2% rate. New line 13B was added to report the amount of Social Security tax the employer chose to defer during the quarter, in essence giving the taxpayer an interest-free loan for up to 18 months. New line 13F was added to report the total advances, if any, received for the quarter from filing Form 7200, advance payment of employer credits due to COVID-19. New lines 19 through 25 were added to collect more information about the employee retention credit and qualified healthcare expenses. Fifth, all other new data fields fall into 2 categories: calculated fields that add, subtract, multiply, or compare entries, and new data fields related to a refundable and non-refundable concept, which is important and adds considerable complexity to the form. The IRS created Worksheet 1 to help determine this split. While the worksheet looks intimidating, it requests only 4 new, typically uncommon entries. If they don't apply to you, just leave them blank. The rest of Worksheet 1 can be auto-populated based on information already entered. Before finishing, we want to highlight our solution with sample data. Click on the Validate Form button to check for errors. You'll need to fix these before proceeding. Once cleared, Part 1 will reflect complete in blue and the download button will activate. Click it to review the form and schedules. Make a mistake? No problem. Just go back into the form and correct, revalidate, and re-download. Once satisfied, pay us to e-file it and receive an IRS acknowledgement by email, typically within a couple hours and guaranteed within 24. Easy, accurate, secure. Here's a copy of the downloaded submission. The download first shows Form 8879 EMP, which authorizes the e-filing. Next, it has 941 itself, all 3 pages. Caution: this is an e-file copy for your records and cannot be mailed to the IRS. If you do, the IRS will reject it and require you to refile. Next, it has Form 941, Schedule B, which was relevant for this example. Notice how the software adds your data in the correct spots. Finally, it has Worksheet 1 fully completed. Notice how the software auto-populates the calculated fields and, importantly, the refundable and non-refundable portions. Our software moved these entries to lines 11B and C and lines 13C and D respectively. Thanks for watching this video about the new COVID-19 employer tax incentives. If you need help filing, as Congress certainly didn't make this simple, please give us a try at www.paymellc.com. Please tell your friends and colleagues about our solution, and stay safe. Thanks.